So, it has probably been a year since I've last updated any sort of progress on how my Japanese learning is going. And yeah, there's a reason. It has slowed significantly. There's even been a couple months in these past few months that have been just almost non-existent in terms of language learning. I was still doing my Anki cards, but other than that, I wasn't immersing myself at all, basically, to tell you the truth. So in order to actually start learning again and give myself a jump start that I desperately need, I'm going to give myself a little challenge here. Can I consume content only in Japanese for 1 month or 30 days? And that means all YouTube videos, any anime, no subtitles, music, which I already do anyways, I guess. Any games that I play, everything has to be in Japanese. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, this doesn't sound that hard. To me, it is going to be pretty hard, and the reason is I'm not anywhere close to the so-called fun threshold, which is a line in learning a language, any language, where it becomes significantly easier to consume content. And the reason why is because you have a good enough base vocabulary and you've wrapped your head around the language just enough to where watching things just becomes easy. It almost becomes like you're just watching stuff in your native language. Obviously, you won't be able to understand as much, but it reduces the strain on you significantly. I am not close to that right now. It's still just sort of that conscious effort that I have to make to switch to my Japanese YouTube account or to, read that untranslated manga. And some shows I'm like, but then I won't be able to understand everything, so I'll keep the English subtitles on. It's still just that little bit for me. I still keep wanting to fall back to English. So the point of this challenge is to try and get closer to that line where things become significantly easier, where I've wrapped my head around it enough to where I no longer have that sort of hesitation and where I don't have to force myself anymore. Because if you can do that, well, then learning a language becomes easy. We'll see how this goes. I forgot to say this in the intro, but today is the 18th, Saturday, November 18th. So obviously the challenge would end on December 18th. And this is what a lot of my immersion is going to look like. Just sitting here on the TV watching some YouTube. This is just some Towa-sama testing out her new 3D live version. See if I can do this. Wait, what is today? It doesn't even say. That's not the date. Okay, it's the 20th. This by far is the hardest thing for me right now. Is like I'm at work, I order some food, and I just want to throw on something that's like easy. Although this is pretty good though, because this is just a GeoGuessr stream, so it's not like they're really saying much. It's the same day, and I actually found some good YouTubers today. This guy Gunma17 is hilarious. Some car stuff, some game stuff, more VTubers of course, but I think from here up was all today, and then I also watched a little bit of anime. I don't want to speak too soon, but like yesterday I was like, man, can I really do this? I don't know, but now it's crazy. Like when you actually find content that you find interesting, it becomes a lot less taxing. I got all these videos in my watch later, like from here up, for tomorrow or even maybe tonight. So, good. Today is December 2nd, so I'm about a third of the way done with the challenge. How's it going so far? Pretty good. I mean, I haven't failed yet, so that's a plus. I'd say it's about 80% YouTube still, and the rest split between like Twitter and anime. I need to definitely watch some more anime because I am getting a little bit burnt out on the YouTube. I still think I just need to find more YouTube channels that I like. Right now it's still a lot of VTubers and a lot of car stuff as well I've been watching, and just other random videos. So I definitely need to find some new people to watch that I actually enjoy and that I find funny. Speaking of funny, it's actually kind of hard to find funny Japanese YouTubers. And what I mean by that is it's hard to find Japanese people making jokes. At least in the videos that I'm watching, like automotive videos in English, people make jokes all the time, you know. Channels will do like opening skits and stuff, and they're hilarious. I swear every Japanese video about that, it's like introducing an owner's car, they walk around the car for 20 minutes and explain, while one person goes, "Ah, naruhodo, ah, hi. Or at least that's the only channels I've found so far. Also, to me right now, it just sort of feels like the production value, there's not as much emphasis put on, oh, how nice can we make this video look? You know, how many cameras can we have? How many people can we have filming? How many different angles and stuff? I actually got excited when I found a YouTube channel yesterday, and it was of a Subaru, and they had a car that was filming, that someone in the car was filming, and then they were filming the car like driving past and stuff that they were talking about. I got excited over that because so far it is kind of a rarity, to be honest with you. I'm sure there are others out there, I'm just looking in the wrong spots. I really need to watch more anime other than the anime that's just like airing this season. That was a bad habit of mine even before I started this challenge. I just, for whatever reason in my brain, it's hard for me to go pick out a show and then, you know, give it a chance, which doesn't really make sense, but that's just the way I am. I got a couple in my backlog that I need to watch, so I just gotta sit down and actually watch them. Other than that, as a question right now, do I really miss my English content? Yes, but it's not like, oh, I miss being able to just sit down and, you know, understand every word. It's more I miss the YouTubers that I would, you know, sit down and watch every single video as soon as it comes out. I'm missing their content, not that they're speaking English. I wish they would speak Japanese so that I could watch them during this challenge, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll probably see in another 10 days, who knows. Maybe I'll do another update where I just do like a vlog throughout the day type thing. We'll see. Well, there was supposed to be a whole intro to this sort of vlog style day, but it is currently, this camera doesn't have autofocus, but you know, it's 7 in the morning, and I was supposed to wake up and be to work by 6:45, so we're starting this day a little later, but oh well. So the first immersion that I'm going to do of the day here is, I actually just set this up, and it's some manga on Bookwalker. I finally did some research on how I was going to actually read untranslated manga, and this seems like it's the best way, except that the Bookwalker app sucks. I'll get this running. Okay, I figured it out. But like I was saying, the only real way to read untranslated manga is either from something like this. Pirating honestly isn't a good option because it's just kind of hard to find stuff. I guess you could either just go on Amazon and find someone that will import books at a jacked up price plus jacked up shipping, or you could go on like Tenso or a transfer service or something like that and also pay less of a jacked up price for the manga, but still a jacked up price for the shipping because it's, you know, heavy books. This is a Shimeji Simulation. It cost me $6 to buy volume 1 on my phone. So I'm gonna read some of this. I honestly don't know what this is about. I just know it's by the same author that did Girls Last Tour. So it looked interesting. And it's actually reasonable to read. There's not a lot of kanji. I don't know if I said this either, but shout out to Livakivi. Here's the channel. He didn't do a video specifically like this, but I love this guy's videos. He does all sorts of things and challenges, and he's been learning Japanese. He just actually put out a 5-year Japanese video, and along the way he's done sort of challenges like this. I think there was a challenge where he watched one episode of anime, 10, 15, 20 times over the exact same episode, just as a challenge, sort of like an experiment. This is definitely sort of a video that he would think of, and it just so happened to be something that I don't even know how I came up with it. So go check him out. He's only got 50,000 subscribers. Far too low in my opinion. So I got a little bit of reading done. Honestly, I like to just read a little bit at a time because it gets tiring, and there are still a lot of words I don't know. It's mostly just to continue to familiarize myself with characters and get more and more comfortable reading. So now on the main event of the day, some YouTube. It's early, so all the VTubers are streaming. I just took a nap. That was probably a little too long. I think I got in bed at 5 or something, and it's now almost 8. Oh well. I got some Sora no Otoshimono. That's just on my TV. What am I on? Episode 7. So I'm gonna watch a little bit of that. And the last thing for the day is obviously Anki. Sometimes I do this earlier in the day, sometimes I wait till later. So let's get this done. That is a full day of immersion for me. It's 10:49, so I'm gonna play a little bit of video games and then go to bed basically. Hopefully that gives a little insight into what I'm actually doing every day. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. It's probably gonna be horrible, but whatever, it is what it is. 1 month. There we go. It's been 30 days, and I can tell you this is definitely the most I've ever immersed. When I first started, I would probably immerse about 3 hours maximum, and this only continued on for a few months when I first started learning. After that, maybe an hour or so I was immersing. When I first was thinking of this challenge, I had this idea in my head for at least a few weeks, at least. When I finally was like, okay, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, let's do this, and I filmed the intro to this video, after I clicked that stop recording button, almost immediately I was like, let's just scrap this idea, I don't need to do this, this is gonna be too difficult for me. That's how reluctant I was. That's how scared almost I was of this whole thing. One of my big takeaways was I finally convinced myself that I can enjoy content only in Japanese throughout the whole day, not just, when I come home from work, I can't listen to anything at work, or when I wake up, I can't do any immersion then. Throughout the whole day, that's one of the most important things that I've finally realized throughout this 30 days. My main goal, like I said in the very beginning, if you remember, was to get closer towards that fun threshold where it just becomes easy to watch content in your target language. Technically speaking, I don't think I've hit that line, even though that's super vague and it's different for everyone. I technically don't think I've hit it. On the other hand, like I just said, I have shown myself that there's content out there in Japanese that I can actually really enjoy. So I'm gonna call that a success for reaching that threshold, at least within the context of this 30-day challenge. Another thing that I noticed within a few days, I think, was my reading ability definitely has gotten higher. It's not an insane amount, but it is noticeably better than before. Obviously, reading is one of those things, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Especially when they have a whole different character system that your brain's just not used to yet. I can actually kind of skim sentences if they're a more simple sentence, and overall it just doesn't take me as long to read things, which makes sense. I've been reading Japanese thumbnails, titles, and subtitles. There's subtitles on everything for the past month. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I think this is a resounding success for my Japanese learning journey here. And the biggest thing is that I'm gonna continue. Now that I have YouTubers that I wanna stay up to date with and manga that I need to finish, I'm gonna continue. In that previous clip that you saw where the clock struck 12 and it was the 18th and the challenge was technically over, and I could, switch to my English YouTube account and catch up on all the content that I've missed. I did do that. I switched my account and I caught up on the YouTubers that I was really missing. But after that, I switched back. I was like, oh, there's some videos that I had in my watch later on my Japanese account. I want to go watch those. That's the biggest thing for me now. I don't feel a need to have everything in English now. I've shown myself that I'm enjoying this Japanese content. That's the most important part. So this really was a huge success. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you to all 2 of you. Thank you specifically. Yeah. This is the biggest video by far that I've ever done. Lengthwise, file, gigabyte size, just time commitment wise, editing, everything. It's the biggest video I've ever done. So thank you.